You've been here before. Not here exactly, but this feeling, this pull. You told yourself it was the last time. Maybe you even believed it. And then something small happened. A song, a smell, a quiet Tuesday evening with nothing to distract you. And you found yourself going back. Again. Not always physically. Sometimes just in your mind. Replaying a conversation, checking their profile, drafting a message you never send, or sometimes do. And afterward, you feel something that's hard to name. Not quite regret, not quite relief. Something closer to, why did I do that again? If you've ever asked yourself that question, this reflection is for you. Here's what's important to understand first. Going back is not a character flaw. It is not proof that you are weak, or that you don't respect yourself, or that you haven't grown. Those are the stories we tell ourselves when we're ashamed of something we don't yet understand. The truth is more interesting and more forgiving than that. When something or someone has been a significant source of meaning in your life, your brain encodes them differently than ordinary memories. They become what psychologists call a reward cue, something your nervous system associates with relief, with feeling known, with the particular kind of comfort that only that specific thing provided. And here's what makes it complicated. The brain doesn't stop associating that person with comfort just because they also caused you pain. It holds both. At the same time, the warmth of what it once was and the ache of what it became. And when you're tired or lonely or uncertain, the brain reaches for what it knows, not what's good for you, what's familiar. But there's a question underneath the pattern that most people never ask. Not, why do I keep going back? But, what am I actually going back for? Because it's rarely the person exactly, or the situation as it actually was. What you're going back for is usually something the relationship once gave you, or something you believed it was about to give you. A feeling of being truly seen, a sense of belonging to something. The version of yourself that existed in that relationship. The one who felt chosen, or needed, or alive in a particular way. You're not going back to them. You're going back to a version of yourself. And that is worth sitting with. Because it tells you something important. What you're looking for is real. The need is real. The longing is real. You just haven't found it in a place that can actually hold it yet. In Vietnamese, there is a word for this, van vuong. It's difficult to translate precisely, which is part of why it matters. The closest English approximation might be lingering attachment, but that sounds clinical, almost cold. Van vuong is neither. Van vuong describes the way something stays with you after it should have released you, like smoke that remains in a room after the candle has gone out, like the impression a hand leaves on water after the hand has lifted. The water still remembers the shape of it. In Vietnamese poetry and music, van vuong appears often in the context of love, but not the dramatic, urgent kind, the quiet kind, the kind that lives in the ordinary moments, the cup of tea someone used to make for you, the particular way they said your name. Van vuong doesn't ask you to hurry. It doesn't shame you for still feeling. It simply names what is true, that some things leave a mark, and the mark takes time to fade, and there is no shortcut for that time. So what do you do with Van Vuong? Not how do you get rid of it, because trying to force it out usually makes it stronger. But how do you live with it honestly, without letting it keep making decisions for you? The first thing is to stop calling it a weakness. What you're experiencing is the residue of something real. You loved something, or wanted something, or built something, and it mattered. The lingering is proof of that. The second thing is to get honest about what you're seeking when you go back. Not to judge it, just to see it clearly. Are you looking for closure that was never given? Are you testing whether the pain is still as sharp as you remember? Are you hoping something has changed? Are you looking for the version of yourself that existed then? Whatever the answer, it deserves your honest attention, not your shame. I want to offer you something to sit with, not a solution, but a question. Think of the last time you went back, or the last time you almost did, and ask yourself as gently as you can, what was I hoping to find there? Not what did you find, not whether it was wise, just what were you hoping for? Because that hope is telling you something about what you need, and what you need doesn't have to be found in that particular place. The need for connection, for being known, for feeling like yourself, those are not things that disappeared when that relationship ended. They're still here, in you, waiting to be met differently. Van Vuong fades, not when you force it to, but when something else begins to take up space. Not a replacement, something new, a different kind of attention, a different kind of presence. That's not something I can tell you how to find, but I can tell you it's possible, and I can tell you that the going back, every time you've done it, was never just weakness. It was a part of you, still trying to get something it genuinely needs. That part of you deserves patience, not judgment, not another promise to do better, just patience. In the next reflection, we'll sit with a question most people are afraid to even say out loud. It will be waiting for you. Take your time getting there.